Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing. It's on. Can't you hear me? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Still can't hear online? Can Sarah hear? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Can she hear that? Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. So we are streaming. You ready to go, John? Okay. I guess I'll start. I don't know if Dan's on. Jonathan on? Oh, okay, John. Okay. Okay, well, you're recording anyhow. All right, so we're just going to start off with a celebration of life, just giving a brief eulogy for my dad. And after the eulogy, then invite people to come up and say a few words. I know a few people wanted to do that. And then, we'll just close with a little bit of music at the end. Alfred Melville James Ellis. We're here to celebrate his life, but who was he? Why did he matter? How did he touch our lives? Alfred, or Al, was born on August 22nd, 1929, to Amy and Herbert Wellington Ellis. He was the youngest of 4 siblings, having 3 older sisters, Marge, Joan, and Verna. Al grew up living with his family above a barber shop in Toronto. His dad was a barber. He grew up in the dirty 30s, a time of severe economic depression that left a lasting impression on Dad. For most of the rest of his life, he was concerned about having enough money. Al went to Malvern Collegiate, one of the oldest high schools in Toronto. It opened in 1908, and he excelled in sports. He played on the rugby team, where he broke his nose, which gave him his distinctive look. Al's father died early in his life from lung cancer caused by smoking. On his deathbed, he made Al swear never to smoke. Al kept that promise for the rest of his life. Having his father die at an early age had a profound impact on Al. You can see in this next picture here, he changed his name for the signature from A. Ellis to H. Ellis in honor of his father. And that photo, as you can see, is from 1947. Indeed, my mother remarked that on their first date was to his father's gravestone. Another interesting story from the early days in Dad's life was when he was 15. He tried to join the army. He traveled with a friend to New York. I recall him telling me that he was there when a B-25 bomber crashed into the Empire State Building. And you can Google that and see about that story. Remembered seeing pieces of wreckage in New York City. He didn't join the army. He returned to Canada, and after high school, joined Kodak in 1953, where he'd spend his entire working career. So that's his first photo ID that he had, and that's one from a little bit later on that he kept in his wallet. He met the love of his life, Betty Jane Townsley, while dancing at the Balmy Beach Canoe Club. They married in 1954 and had my brother Stephen later that same year. Al and Betty made numerous moves, most of them work related during their lives, greater than 20 by my count. While working in California, my sister Karen was born in Sacramento in 1958. I was born in Ottawa on my dad's birthday in 1966. Family moved back to Toronto shortly afterwards, and he started attending church in the early 70s. The church was a large part of Dad's life. He attended the United Church, West Park Baptist Church, and Pentecostal Church at various points in his life. He served as a deacon and an elder at some of the churches. His faith was a great comfort to him. Even in the latter stages of dementia, he could give the blessing at a meal. In 1972, the family moved to London, Ontario for the longest, most stable phase of his career. Karen attended Saunders High School and Western University, meeting John at a tennis match. Karen and John got married in 1979. Mom and Dad loved going on vacations, the annual trip to Foxwood Inn on the Lake of Bays being a highlight in cottage country. You got a chance to unwind, go water skiing, and be closer to nature. Keith and Ingrid met in high school, and they got married in 1985. 1986, Dad left Kodak and began his retirement. 1988, Al and Betty moved from London to Nanaimo, BC, for the cheap housing, the warm climate, and the slower pace of life. There's a lot of retirees in Nanaimo, BC. Meanwhile, Karen and John had been busy in the 80s, having Al and Betty's first grandchildren, Jennifer, Linda, Jonathan, and Daniel. Keith and Ingrid gave him two more grandchildren, George and Sarah, born in 1989 and 1994. As the years progressed, Al and Betty aged, as did the rest of the children and grandchildren. One of the things that I remember about Dad was always proud and supportive of our accomplishments. Karen remembers him driving her to the tennis matches. I remember him driving me to orchestra rehearsals. While living in BC, he would make every effort to attend concerts or graduation ceremonies. This is a picture from a concerto competition Sarah was a finalist playing her bassoon at when she was younger. I remember him proudly telling about all of his grandchildren's accomplishments in Ontario and BC. In the 2000s, Betty's health took a turn for the worst, and Dad had to take on more of the household responsibility. From 2015 to 2016, Dad had to provide significant support as Mum was bedridden. Eventually, Mum moved to a nursing home. Dad would come twice a day to help feed her and spend time with her. Betty passed shortly after Dad's 90th birthday in 2019, and the years finally began to take a toll on him. He sold his home in Nanaimo and moved back to Ontario in assisted living, being supported by Karen and John. COVID wasn't kind to Dad. The isolation and lack of social contact accelerated his dementia, and it required extraordinary support from both Karen and John just for him to cope in assisted living. Eventually, he moved to Bay Ridge's nursing home in Pickering for his last 3 years. At the nursing home, at least initially, Dad thrived being around more people. He was friendly, got along with other staff and residents, and participated in activities. One of Dad's unique gifts was approachability, his ability to talk to people, even complete strangers, and getting them to open up about their lives. As I come to the close of the pictures, I hope you notice his big smile on most of them. The last picture I share with you is a video of Dad dancing at the nursing home from 2 years ago. His love of dancing and music continued throughout his life, and I know many of you sitting down share the same passion. I know you're in a better place, Father. Perhaps you're sharing a dance with Mom right now. Please know that we'll miss you. I always think fondly of you for all time. We'll also miss your bear hugs. Almost done. Okay, so that's the end of my part. I'd like to invite people that would like to come up and just share some remembrances or thoughts about Dad that they'd like to share with everybody here. I know, John, you were going to say a few words. Maybe after yours.
Well, Al and I had an interesting relationship. One of the first times I met him, I guess Karen and I had gone to a drive-in, and she was concerned that I was too tired, so she made me rest for an hour or two. And I got home, and he went off the deep end. What's going on here? Don't worry, we'll get married. It'll be fine. He loved to talk about golf. He liked to watch golf. We brought him to our place. I'd always put golf on for him. Whenever I was out west, he wanted to play me a game of golf, and he had an interesting way of scoring golf. I said, "Al, what did you get?" He says, "Give me a 6." I'm thinking, I counted 8 or 9, but what? So whenever he told me a great score he got, I always go, "Yeah, maybe not, but whatever." So anyway, I was picking him up for years, bringing him back to our house, and he just, when I would go to the nursing home, he'd go, "John, did you want to go?" "Yes," and away we went. So it was unfortunate the last bit here. He had a couple falls. He was in a wheelchair. I had no way of bringing him back, and I'm not saying that necessarily made a difference in terms of him going downhill, but he was 96 in August, so it's kind of an inevitable thing. But anyway, he was always a friendly guy. I ran into him at work at Darlington. He came in to fix our photocopy machines, and invariably I'd see him chatting up one of the young women there. He just and they all just loved him. Like he'd talk to somebody for half an hour, and he could tell me how many kids they had, like their whole life story. For something about him, people just spilled their guts to him and told him everything about their life. And they're going, "Gee, I've known that person for 3 years. I don't know any of that stuff." So he was really amazing. So anyway, he was a fun guy. We're really going to miss him, and I hope he and Betty are up there together now, looking down on this and enjoying what we're doing. So, Alexis, do you want to come up? No, I want to show what you brought with you. That's all. I don't want to expect you to speak. So Alexis brought this bunny that Grandma and Grandpa gave to her as a gift, so she still has it. So that's nice. Yeah. And you saw one of the pictures had Kendall in it, and Grandpa and Kendall seemed to get just almost immediately got, because he didn't see that much of her, but she snuggled right up to him and thought, let's not go there. Yeah. She'd never seen him before, but that obviously, and Bella, you saw her. Oh, was that not Bella? Oh, it could have been. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, so yeah, it's unfortunate that he only came back in the latter part of his life. You didn't get it. All the grandkids, great grandkids, didn't get a chance to grow up with him because he was out in Nanaimo. He did. Yeah. Couldn't remember. But it always, a bright spot of his day was always when we said, "Let's stop off at Linda's food truck." "Yeah, Linda's food truck." And when she could, she'd come out and talk to us, and he really enjoyed that. So, good. So does anybody else want to come up here and?
Like a few winters ago, he gave me this. It was meant to be for the whole entire family, but I took it and kept it. I mean, kept it. And now it's mine, and now nobody's gonna take it from me.
Good job. Possession's 9 cents the law, that's what they say. Okay? Going once, going twice. All right, I believe Keith is going to play a recording that Sarah did saying what Grandpa meant to her, and when he moved back here, she got the piano, so she's also going to play the piano and one of his favorite songs. Thank you, Sarah. It was nice, and I know Sarah is actually watching on the stream online from Victoria. So, Al loved bagpipes, so we're going to close this with bagpipe music, if we can get it going. Oh, yeah, it's Amazing Grace. So. Okay, well, thank you for coming, and this isn't the best way to get together, but at least we got a nice gathering together. And I'm sure Al is smiling down on all of us today. Thanks.